What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, of course, we're going to be taking a quick look at Cardano. I know it's a lot later than it usually is, and this is going to be a lot shorter of a video, but I do want to make sure that I update you guys anytime something important happens, and a few important things are happening as we speak. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So a quick recap of what we've seen today. Of course, this morning we were talking about this move. We were talking about the potential of this, and I'm very excited that it happened. So what I said in today's video, we were going to be on this bar right here as it was falling. I said look to see us establish some support around $2.53 if we do lose this high. So we lost that high, we came down, established some support at $2.52. I was 1 cent off, but then we used that, and then as we worked our way up, I said look for it to clear $2.66. If we do that, there's a good chance we see a lot of upward momentum from there, and it could be a great buying opportunity. Well, that's exactly what happened. We cleared 266, and then the price went up about 7%. So any of you who did get in on that trade from this morning, of course, congratulations. A 7% trade in about 4 hours is, of course, absolutely phenomenal. Now, one thing that we did see get formed after that video was made that I was tracking all day was going to be this bullish pennant here. Now, of course, if you kind of want your breakout targets on a bullish pennant, what you're going to do is take the bottom of it, you're going to go up to the top, and of course, it does create this shape here, this bullish pennant, this right here. And so what you're going to do then is take the length of that distance from the bottom to the top and apply that to wherever you break out of. We broke out right here, we apply that same distance, and as you can see, it creates this height. And so at this level, this is where your breakout target is. That's where the price should go up to if it is a full-blown technical bullish pennant with a perfect breakout, as we can see right now. So what this tells me is not only was, of course, that a great trade, and that was a great, opportunity there, a great purchasing opportunity, but it just simply goes to show that the price is still moving in a healthy fashion, which is so important. As we're approaching something like smart contracts coming out, we want to see that the price remains healthy. We want to see that this move remains healthy. And the fact that we are still seeing us reacting off of these breakout targets, the fact that we are still having such strong technical indicators being right and these breakout targets being right, it just goes to show that it's moving in tandem with the fundamentals and not just off of hype, which is so important. And so with that, that's very important too. Now, one thing I also paid attention to that we were talking about just this morning was going to be this on the RSI, this line right here. And now what I said is that I've been paying close attention to the fact that we've been constantly seeing bearish divergence. We're setting lower highs on the RSI, but we're setting higher highs on the price, which goes to show that the bulls are slowing down, they're losing momentum, they're getting exhausted. Well, one thing we did see, or we're currently looking to see, hopefully, is that we're getting very, very, very close of clearing this previous high and setting a new high off of this one, a higher high. And so as we do set this higher high here, we want to set a higher high here, which finally cancels out some of that bearish divergence that we've been seeing time and time and time again, which I think plays a part in why we would see some of these larger pullbacks there. And so if we can see that happen, of course, that's a great sign, because that just cancels out some of the negative catalysts, some of these things that may push the price down, and that could, of course, enable us to see even more growth from this point forward. Now, as we are in price discovery, of course, that is a very risky thing to think, though. You got to be careful and not just assuming, oh, the price is going up, so it's going to go straight to $3.50. Of course, we all want it to go there, but you have to be very careful, because at any given point, we could see a large-scale retracement off of one of these long-term Fibonacci's way back down below $2, of course. So in terms of, is this a great buying opportunity? Well, buying at when we're setting all-time highs may not be the best idea, but in the long term, of course, I think it is, and based off the weekly charts and things, I think it is. But at this very moment, of course, you just need to be very, very careful. So, what can we expect going forward? And what are we looking at now that we've made such good progress? We're breaking out, we're staying fundamental. We broke out of that bullish pennant. We met our breakout target. We possibly are setting a new higher high on that RSI there. What does all this mean? Well, of course, at some given point, this thing is going to slow down, and at some given point, it is going to pull back. Personally speaking, I think there may be a little bit of room left to run. Of course, while we are in price discovery and looking to set new highs, you can never be 100% certain, but based off of this Fibonacci swing high to swing low event, I feel like there is still room to run back up to $2.88, and we came short of that. We're short by about 3 or 4 cents, and I know it's not the most, but I still believe that there is still that potential to reach that 2.618 full-blown extension execution, and hopefully the establishment of some support there. But if we are to start to roll over and we don't reach that high, one way in which you will know it is we need to pay close attention to the 1 hour EMAs now instead of the 4 hour. Now, I know a lot of you who watch my channel may say, well, Tyler, we always look at the 4 hour EMAs, right? Well, yes, we do that when they're being used. But right now, what we can see is that since touching and establishing support here, we've not really come down to interact with them. And so until we start to interact with them, we're going to have to scale down just a little bit and look at our 1 hour EMAs instead. Because as you can see, is that since we've not been interacting with the 4 hours, since this move down here, but we have been coming down to interact with our 1 hours. So what I'd be looking to see, personally speaking, is okay, how exactly do we react off of this bounce? What I'd be looking to see is if we can hold our 20 or our 50. If we start to lose the 20 and the 50, that's when we zoom out to then go and start to look at our 4 hour EMAs as the price falls below these, as we saw back here and somewhere around here as well. Okay, so definitely be paying attention that when this thing rolls over, see, if we establish some support on the 20 and we don't come down to retest the 50, and the next thing you know, we're setting a new high, that could be a great buying opportunity, right? Let me give you an example. This 20 EMA comes up here, boom. We roll over and we touch, boom. The 50 EMA's here. We maybe dip below it and we keep coming back up and establish some support and work our way back up. You want a good buying opportunity even during price discovery? What I'm doing is I'm drawing my Fibonacci extension from this high down to whatever low I set, which is right here. That moment that we clear that 786, for this example, $2.81, that moment we clear this and establish some support, boom, I'm in. I'm ready to go in a short-term trade with a stop loss set right under this 618 with the expectancy that we may touch $2.97, that we may touch $3.15, because that's how the price has been moving this entire run. And so with that, that's how you game plan a move like this. That's how you game plan buying in when we're in price discovery. You don't just ape in. You don't just throw random money in. Because when you do that and you try to catch a bus when the bus is going 40 miles per hour, likelihood is you might either get hit by the bus or the bus might sideswipe you and knock you off the street. Now you don't want to invest anymore. Catch the bus at the bus stop. And that's one thing that I will always say. And right here, when we clear that, boom, that's my bus stop. And so if you're starting to get FOMO, if you're starting to get a little bit nervous, like, man, I want to get in, but I don't know, should I buy, should I not? My personal friendly recommendation is to let it do what it's supposed to do, set a game plan, and buy on support rather than buying on big green candles. Okay, that's what I always say. Let it establish some support, let it clear some very inclusive and some very important levels, and then once it does that, boom, allow that to be the rocket fuel you're looking for. So that's just a quick little update on what all we're looking for. If the price does start to fall over, look for an interaction with the 1 hour EMAs, the 20, the 50, and if we do establish some support there and clear a 786 off of the swing high down to the support establishment, that's a great buying opportunity, and that's something to be very, very interested in. Now, if the price does start to fall and we start to lose some of these different levels, it's simple. All you got to do, look at this hour 20, look at this hour 50. We lose those, all you do is zoom out a bit. You go out to your 4 hour. Where are we at? Then you start to look at that interaction for the 20 on the 4 hour. But even then, there's multiple Fibonacci levels. There's things we can look for on the downside that provide us better buying opportunities than right now. Okay? Even if the price goes up, buying here is risky. 100% is risky, okay? And so if you're questioning it, if you're getting FOMO, just remember there's always a great buying opportunity just a few steps ahead of you if you take your time. And so with that being said, I will update you guys in the morning on what happens. I personally feel like it's going to be very interesting in the morning. We may either execute on the 290 extension or we may roll back over to like the $2.60 range. Not 100% sure what's going to happen, but I cannot wait to let you guys know. So with that being said, of course, do stay tuned. Do tune in the morning as we cover some more ADA, and I can't wait to see you all there. Peace.